Hello, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to be talking about TV characters that never dealt with their abuse, and most of these, the abuse was never truly dealt with even in the show at all. It was acted like it never happened, it acted like it was okay, um, even though I don't think it is. Some of these, it was touched upon, I just don't think the character technically dealt with it. Okay? So here's my list. Caroline from The Vampire Diaries because she was abused by Damon and never dealt with it, and the show also never took it seriously, especially after season 1 where they tried to make Damon seem like this great guy, even though he never so much as apologized, which I did a video on this, so I'm not going to get too much into it now. I also have Rachel from Glee with her cyberbullying, which I also did in a video recently, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But she also was cyberbullied, and I hate that the show never dealt with it. They got really heavily into Kurt's bullying storyline, and that was more of an in-person bullying. I think it would have been a great storyline if they really got into the fact that Caroline was being cyberbullied and having a whole episode dedicated to it. And I just think that was a missed opportunity, especially since Rachel was I just don't think she deserved it. Obviously nobody deserves it, no matter who you are, and I just think Rachel deserved better. Jenny from Harry Potter never dealt with Voldemort's manipulation and everything he did to her in Chamber of Secrets. It's kind of, I know it's in Harry's point of view, but it kind of just washes away, and you never really talk about it, and not until it's brought up again in, is it Order of Phoenix? No, it would have been Half-Blood Prince because it had to do with it was brought up because Harry was talking to, a journal, sort of. So that brought up her PTSD over it. So there was that, but still. Alex and Max from Wizard Place never dealing with their toxic parents because I'm sorry, the way they treat Alex and Max is not okay. Like, it actually infuriates me sometimes, especially since, Max is just kind of forgotten. He's just kind of there, let's be real. And then Alex, like, no wonder she had issues. And then the whole thing in the Alex vs. Alex movie actually makes me so mad because what do you mean you guys are trying to change her? Like, no wonder she preferred Harper. Like, I love Harper's speech about nobody changing you because you are who you are. And Harper was like, yeah, you infuriate me sometimes, but I love you for you. And that's a true friend. That's the only person who does that. And it's just horrible how her family treats her. They always try to turn her into Justin. They always try to compare her to Justin. No wonder she has self-esteem issues. Then there's Eric on that 70s show because his dad was low-key abusive verbally. And I don't think it's touch bars. It's used for laughs, which don't get me wrong. Sometimes it can be funny, but sometimes I feel like it goes too far. And sometimes I feel like it's low-key abusive. And it's never dealt on in the show. So that's what were the ones that were never truly dealt with in the show. Now, the ones I'm going to talk about next was technically dealt with in the show for the most part. It's just I feel like the characters didn't actually deal with it. So I have 11, Mike, and basically all the kids from Stranger Things. Went through a lot of hell and never truly had time to deal with it and what they went through, because they were always, running, fighting, whatever. Especially when it came to seasons 4 and 5, never truly had any time to deal with it because when season 5 came, they were fighting nonstop for like an entire year. So, and then I have Tara from Buffy the Vampire Slayer because they do have an entire episode of her abusive family, but I still feel like she never truly dealt with it. I also have this theory that the reason why she never truly uses her full potential of magic is because she's too afraid. Even after they show up and she finds out that she's not part demon, that fear stays with you. So I feel like she's a lot more powerful than she leads on. She just didn't want them to know. And I also think she didn't know. She hides her power because even though she knows she's not part demon, that fear stays with you. She forced herself to keep her powers in check. She was afraid of what she could do. And that fear isn't just going to go away because you find out, boom, you're not a demon, like they told you. She was raised to be afraid. So yeah. And then I have Sokka and Katara from Avatar Last Airbender because obviously everyone knows that Katara's trauma that she never truly dealt with losing her mom. Sokka, he was forced to basically become like this, like watch over the entire clan, more or less, as a kid. Like, he was told to take care of everyone and take care of Katara, and he was alone. And I feel like Katara was dealt with and touched upon more than Sokka's was, in the show at least, even if the character didn't deal with it. And like in the very first episode, he was ready to fight an entire army by himself, and he does not get the props. I know he was low-key sexist. It's not even low-key in the beginning, but first of all, he had great character development that is never talked about because Zuko overshines him in that department. Unfortunately, his character development should be talked about more. But I just think he doesn't get the amount of props he deserves. Honestly, I love Sokka. He's one of my favorite characters. And the last character I'm going to talk about is Amity from Owl House. She went through a lot, and she was low-key abused as well, and she was forced to be the person she didn't like. She was forced to not hang out with her best friend who she cared about, and she was just forced to be horrible when she didn't want to be. And then she started changing. Her mom was awful to her. She tried to rip her friends away from her and her girlfriend, all so that she can do her bidding. And then Amity tells her what the Emperor's truly doing over there, and she doesn't even care. Like, her mom is truly a horrible person. So yeah. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment if you agree with these choices. If you think there's more, maybe I could do a part 2 someday. Let me know below, and I'll talk to you guys next time.